Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC Mora here, and while we're waiting for more news on Street Fighter 6, they are obviously drip feeding us some info on Twitter where they showed this game facing. I think there is a good chance that we actually might get some news on the 13th. Now while we're waiting for all of that, I wanted to talk about this question by HKPC because I feel like it's actually a very relevant and very important topic that we need to talk about. HKBC is asking when to call it a day. When should you just stop playing, get off, and go do something else, or maybe just go to bed, whatever you want to do, right? Now, I refuse to believe that you can be a fighting game player and didn't go through a sort of a breakdown at one point or another, right? We have all had our bad days where it seems like nothing you're doing is working in your favor. Seems like every other opponent is just insanely lucky, or they have your number, or are just obnoxious and you can't deal with them. You can't seal a win. Unfortunately, like I said, this is very common, and especially in modern fighting games when the ranking system can be very harsh. In a game like Street Fighter 5, it's not really uncommon for players to lose 1,000+ points in one setting. Now obviously there is something that is called the mental fortitude. It is your mental strength pretty much. How long can you endure before you break down? But honestly, I think all of us fighting game players have been broken at one point or another. So when to call it a day is actually a very important thing to learn if you want to rank up, or if you even want to get better at the game, because unfortunately the bad day can be bad days if you actually let it be. Now the first step is recognizing when this is going on. Obviously when you're playing, usually when you start playing, especially in a game again like Street Fighter 5 that is very momentum based, that is very fast paced and requires a lot of reactions, usually when you start you will be doing fine. You will be thinking while you're playing, you're conscious about your decision making and everything is dandy. But sometimes during that bad phase, you will find yourself actually acting on autopilot, and I will say this is very commonly shown on your defense. Sometimes you will take some defensive choices without actually thinking about them that much, and after you have done that bad choice you will say that it's like, I mean, why did I take there? Obviously that didn't make any sense. Or why did I wake up button, etc, etc, etc. You're just autopiloting, and the most dangerous element of the game to autopilot on is defense. Knowing how you behave once you have already figured out that you are going through a breakdown or you're just autopiloting is actually really important. For me personally, I am the type of player who don't really bounce back that easily. So if I'm going through a breakdown, I just stop playing, right? This actually has been an issue for me for a while now, because when I enter tournaments, I usually end up doing really well as long as I am in winners, right? The second I say I'm sent to losers, typically I don't do that great, because like I said, when I break down, I really do break down, and for me to recover I need to go do something else. I need to take a break. So it's actually really important to realize how you behave. One of the best advice that I could give you, and obviously this will depend a bit on your personality, because I know others who will actually stick around and eventually turn it back, and again, obviously you know yourself better than I ever will, so do what you think suits you well. But at least for me, from my personal experience, taking a break was always good. Now what I did, especially when I was learning Street Fighter 5 and just trying to get better at the game, is that I would play it. Especially if I'm playing rank, I would play it, and the moment that I lose a set, I would stop playing, right? Because when you lose a set, the first thing you want to do is you want to just jump back in and play another match. You want to recover these points. But unfortunately, this could also mean that you are too focused on points, you're too focused on winning and losing, you're really autopiloting, and that could get ugly. right? Obviously, when I start a session with a loss, yeah, I would just, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna play Battle Lounge, I'm gonna play some casual matches, or I'm gonna play something completely different. Yes, it's a lame and somewhat cowardly approach, I understand that, but honestly, it is better for your mental health, and mental health is the most important thing, honestly, for fighting games and just for your life period. I understand that these games can get us salty, and being salty or annoyed is something that is not really in your control, right? So try to avoid it to the best of your ability. Yes, it might take you a little bit longer to get the rank, or just it may take you like more time, but that's totally fine. Your mental health is worth it. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, helps the channel so much. We'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.